This short video is to explain and to explore together with anyone who listens to me the reality that there is no language inside of me. There's no language inside of you. We all talk in a way as if there is language inside of us. We say, we think, we say, I believe, I have thoughts, I have doubts. Yeah, all of these are references to language inside of us. But there is no language inside of us. If you are a neuroscientist and you look into the human brain, you will find gray matter, white matter and gray matter. You will find neurons and you will find, the coding around the neurons. And you will find the stuff that is in your brain, neurotransmitters. But there are no words. There are no sentences. There is no language anywhere. Anywhere inside of you. And so it's very, very, very important to recognize that language is always outside of you. And to let yourself know that this is so. This is not just some, this is not some affirmation or so. This is not some sort of, you're trying to believe this. No, this is absolutely true. And it is astonishing that nobody has ever really asserted this with clarity like I do. We're referring to thinking every day. We're referring to having a mind every day. To having concepts that we think before we do something. You gotta think. You gotta think things through. And none of it has to do with language inside of us. There is no language inside of us. And what we say is happening inside of us is not what is happening inside of us. Of course, there is a process happening inside of us, no doubt. These brains are working, and these brains, they produce language. And if these brains are damaged, there is no such a production of language. There's no such an understanding of language. There's no such a comprehension of language. But there's no language in the brain. There's no language inside of you. There's only language outside of you. Yes, you heard me correctly. There's only language outside of you. What you hear is language outside of you. And what you see is language outside of you. And when you write, is language outside of you. And when you read, is language outside of you. Yeah. It's extremely important to recognize that there's no language inside of you. Once you have that clear, you will embody your language. You will embody your language, which does not mean that there's language inside of you. No, you embody your language because your experience and your language are related. Your language is actually representing your experience correctly. That's embodied language. And it's just a way of addressing the fact that if I say, for instance, a feeling, I have a feeling. The word feeling is not the feeling. So there is the language, the feeling, and there is the experience, the feeling. Yeah? And when the language and the feeling co-occur, when the language does not prevent the feeling, does not deny the feeling, does not disconnect from the feeling, then you have embodied language. Okay, well, that was it for today.